Hi there, my name is Marina. I'm a postdoctoral fellow at the Federal University of Santa Catarina. And today's presentation, I'll tell you about our study on generative AI versus specialized systems in text-to-3D model generation. So let's imagine a world in the future where 3D printers are everywhere. They are common household items. They are turning information into real objects. And this is especially important for blind or partially sighted people, for tactile access. So imagine you just describe a scene and you can build something. Today this is probably the most important obstacle in the 3D printing workflow. It's not so simple to generate a 3D model, but artificial intelligence is kind of changing this scenario, and we want to know if the AI is really ready for that. So we have tested 4 examples of AI. 2 are what we call general purpose AI. We tested ChatGPT and Gemini, Google Gemini. These 2 are the most worldwide used ones. And we also test 2 specialized AIs, Triple and Meshi. So we wanted to know if the specialized ones, who are often a little more trickier to use, it's not just a simple window with a big text box for you to write. They have more settings for you to choose. They are often pricey as well. So we wanted to know if it's really worth paying for that, for this specialized 3D software, or if maybe the general ones already can do the job just as well. So what we asked the tools to do was to build a scene, and we chose the Titanic disaster to be the scene, but we never mentioned that to the AIs. We described the scene, but never said Titanic. So we had 2 prompt level. On the first prompt, we described a much generic and broader scene. We told about a liner. We referred the correct historical period. We mentioned the collision and everything, but in a very shallow way. And then we went back to the same AI and tested prompt number 2, which was much denser, and it was kind of forcing the inference of the software to relate what we were describing to the Titanic event. So we mentioned the maiden voyage. We mentioned the 4 funnels that were very distinctive of the Titanic, the 2 masts and everything. So what we were trying to accomplish was not just making, the prettiest object, but also what software was turning the narrative language into a actually usable object. So we were looking first for narrative fidelity. Does it really look like the historical event we mentioned? The printability, the object, the digital object has to be printable. And the tactile clarity, states for the suitability of the model to be used for blind or partially sighted people when touching this model. We have to look very carefully to balance a good model, like detailed and everything, but not too much, and also not a too simple model with no details at all. That would not help provide any information when touching it. So we got actually a big split. The specialized AI, they won the scene test. So Meshi and Triple, they provided a much better Titanic-like silhouette. Also the iceberg scene, all the cinematic of the liner, the ship. So we believe the connection to the historical event would be really simple. While the general purpose AI, they won the print test. So they did not provide better looking ships, but they did give us closed single piece meshes that would be really easy to print. Here are the digital models they provided for the first prompt, the prompt that was a little broader, with less information for the AI to build the scene. On the upper part, we have the triple meshy objects. They were the specialized software. And in yellow, we have the general purpose AIs, Gemini and ChatGPT. So for the prompt number 2, we had the same thing. Triple and meshy were looking pretty good. Meshy picture is a little dark, but you can see like the 4 funnels and everything we have asked for. And ChatGPT and Gemini provided much simpler scenes, as you can see, with less details. But the meshes were good to go. Just have to slice it and print really easily with no repairs required. That wasn't like for mesh and triple, we had to provide a few repairs before being able to slice and print the models. But they were looking good. So in a very simple comparative reading, we can state the meshy has the best visuals, but the meshes were pretty weak. They needed repair. Triple as well, they had a very good historical feel, but still needed repair, so fragile. And ChatGPT provided the most reliable pipeline or workflow, as you wish. And Gemini also provided a good geometry. But the difference between ChatGPT and Gemini, a very important difference, is that when we ask ChatGPT to provide us a ready-to-go file, a .stl file for printing, it gives us. It just provides the link, we click, and we're good to download it. And Gemini is unable to do that. So what Gemini does, it gives us a prompt with a code, and it tells you. So you download another software, you copy this code I'm giving you, paste on that software, and it will give you what you need. And it does, it works, but it's not as simple as we wished. So while the ChatGPT can provide a direct link, Gemini still gives you a local step before you were able to print your digital object. So do we consider that the specialized tools have actually the advantage here? Partially yes, because of the better iconic and cinematics, which are important, but they are not the only thing that we have to consider. We have to state that the general purpose tools, they are much more reliable for now, considering the printable outputs. And well, the communication model, they still matter, We believe that best tool depends on whether you want a persuasive image, a tactile object, or even just a direct user workflow. There's no right answer for now. So that was a very first step in our postdoctoral research. We are exploring different AIs. Hopefully it will help someone. And if you're doing something just like that, we would love to hear from you. Thank you. Obrigada.